Today I want to talk with you about a topic many people would be uncomfortable talking about, but I'm certainly not. I'm Laura Ray, and I have always been on a budget, and I'm not ashamed of that. I made a decision many years ago, around the age of 30, I guess, to become a public school teacher, and I knew when I made that decision I was going to have to be on a budget all of my life. And now I'm leading into retirement and I'm still on a budget because I'm thinking about the money I will need for the rest of my life. Now, I'm not ashamed of any of that, and I have found a way around these things to find products and beauty that I enjoy and get just as much enjoyment out of as people that can afford very expensive things. And if someone can afford those things, more power to them. It's just not something that's doable for me. The first beauty product I cannot afford is the new face. Now, a couple of years ago, I went to an event. I was invited by a friend to, it was a beauty event at a spa where they had a lot of very expensive products, and the new face was there, and they did a little demo on my skin, and I got to see how it would work. Well, I was impressed. When I was done, my eyes looked lifted. I definitely could see a difference, but then when I saw the price tag, I just knew that wasn't something in my budget. So I went looking for something that would help and give that lifted look, because the new face results, my eyes looked lifted for about a day, and then it was back to normal. So what I use are my Quoi tools. I feel these work just as good. Sometimes I'm very consistent with doing this. If I have the time, I do it every day for maybe 10 minutes. Other times I'm rushed and I do it a couple of times a week, but I always get results from these. My face always looks lifted. Now, all I do is use a little jojoba oil. This is very inexpensive. And then I take the tool and start actually on my neck, working on my neck, work my chin, I work all the way up. Now, if I want to just spot treat, if I'm in a rush and I wake up and I look like my eyes are puffy, I take this one that looks like a fish, I put a little jojoba oil under the eye and just massage the area, and it looks beautiful. But these tools give me the same results that I had that night from the new face at a budget I can afford. One of the most talked about makeup removers on YouTube is this right here, Clinique Take Off the Day. I've heard so much about it. Well, recently Ulta had it on sale, so I wanted to compare it to my favorite, Albolene. Now, if you look at the difference, this has 3.8 ounces and this has 12 ounces in it. And as you can see, it is well loved. I've used so much of it. Well, I have to say, I still like the Albolene. Because you're getting about a third of the product, the price difference is astronomical, and all we're doing here is taking off makeup. So literally, this is money we are washing down the drain. So I enjoy Albolene so much, and actually what I like about this better than the Clinique Take Off the Day is that my skin has so much more moisture in it when I'm done. Sometimes I feel like I don't even need moisturizer after I've used this. So Albolene really is within my budget and is still my absolute favorite. Taupe makes a rice enzyme face wash that I've always wanted to try. I've heard so many great things about it, but then I saw the price and I was like, I can't afford that. And the thing is, when you fall in love with something, you want to repurchase it. So it's not just spending $60 one time or $69, it's spending it multiple times in a year. So I'm thinking, I don't want to spend $400 or $500 a year on face wash. So I found this from SRB, and this is amazing. It really exfoliates my face so gently. You don't even have to use this every night. If you're trying to stretch it out, make it last longer, you could do this 2 or 3 times a week as a gentle exfoliator. I appreciate this so much because I have such sensitive skin, and I can't use many of the different acids and exfoliators that are out on the market. I just can't. I break out in a rash. So this is something I can use to exfoliate my skin, keep it looking bright at an affordable price. A couple of years ago, I used to go for facials maybe every 6 or 8 weeks. And part of why I did that was just, it was a relaxing thing for me to do. I just found it very calming. I became very close with the esthetician. We were friends. And so I just enjoyed spending time with her, basically. But I did love the look when I left. My skin looked really fresh. And she used a product they used at the spa on me by Physiodermie. It was a Gommage. And you just put it on your skin and let it dry for just a few seconds, and you roll the product away. And what comes off is, with the product, your dead skin, the surface of your skin is mixed in. So she would tell me, oh, it's very dark today. You had a lot of dead skin. And we could tell by the color of the product after it was rolled off how much dead skin I had. Well, that product from Physiodermie is quite expensive. I'm not going for facials anymore. The spa, actually, where I used to go, is closed permanently. And I just don't feel comfortable doing that right now, and I really can't afford it. So I found this product from Mother Made that I use at home. It is not as creamy as the Physiodermie, but it's more of a gel consistency, but it does the same job. I get that same fresh look I used to get when she would do the facial, and for a very affordable price. Most of you are familiar with a very popular makeup eraser. It's $20 for one face cleaning cloth. And while that's a beautiful cloth, that's a lot of money to spend on one cloth. I get 4 of them from a company called Danielle, and I have used these for several years. I first found them at Marshall's, fell in love with them. Now they have them on Amazon, so I put them in my Amazon store, but these are amazing. I think I've had these at least 2 or 3 years. They're still fluffy, they still work great. Now all you do is just wet it under the sink, and this is what I do before I even go in with the Albolene. I just wipe off my face, and pretty much all the makeup comes off. Now the one section I have to work on a little bit is the mascara. So I will take the Albolene and make sure I go over my eyes, and that just melts the mascara right down, and then I wipe off with this cloth. But what I like about these, they wash so well, they're so gentle on the skin. Even with my very sensitive skin, I'm able to use these. Most washcloths I can't. My skin will get very inflamed, where this doesn't bother my sensitive skin, and you get 4 of these for the price of one makeup eraser. There's a word I use called shamalama ding dong, and this is where there's a lot of shamalama ding dong, meaning scamming going on. These products can be so expensive, and what are you trying to do? You're just trying to keep your skin from being dry. That's what moisturizer's all about. Well, many people have compared this Nivea, this one is the one made in Germany, with the La Mer, which runs around $345. Even a little travel size is almost $200. I will never spend that on a moisturizer. So when I talked about this before on my channel, so many of you wrote me and said you've been using it for years, you love it, that your mom's used it. It really is amazing. And some of you that know I have rosacea wrote me to tell me, hey, I use that on my rosacea, try it out, see if it works for you. Well, I did, and it's beautiful. It did not disturb my skin. I didn't break out in any bumps. I was really surprised because my skin is so sensitive. But look at the amount you get here. And this is so inexpensive. So if you're looking for something very rich, this is such a rich moisturizer. This is great. Not only can you use it on your face, but your body, your hands. Great for us dealing with so many problems with our hands because of all the hand washing. So Nivea is my go-to in place of La Mer. Stila makes a color correcting primer that's also brightening, and both of those things are so appealing to me because I get red very easily and I need some color correcting, and also I like a little brightness in my primer. So I've talked about this one as a replacement for the Stila. This was first mentioned on Sabrina's channel, and I thought in her video the Glossiva looked better than the Stila, and that's what prompted me to order it. So many of you, when I talked about this, wrote me back and said you love it, that you think it works great on your skin and how much you enjoyed it. So I wanted to just update you and say I'm even more in love with it than I was before. It has become my favorite primer. I love how it brightens my skin without me having to put highlighters on. So it's almost a replacement for highlighters, but it's so natural looking. Now another primer that so many of you have written to me about that I also love is the E.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This worked great on my skin to sort of fill in the pores in this area where I have larger pores. But between the two, I have to say the Glossiva is my favorite because of the color correcting and the brightness, but I still love this, and this is a great replacement if you're wanting to try the Tatcha. Tatcha makes one that is pretty pricey, and the E.l.f. is so reasonable, so if that's the kind of primer you're looking for, the E.l.f. is my go-to. Last year, when I had a terrible skin reaction, I was desperate to cover all the bumps on my face. So I did spend quite a bit of money on this It Bye foundation. Now I love it, but each tube is $39.50. And when you think of repurchasing that, that's really going to add up. There wasn't really a perfect shade for me, so I bought 2 to mix. Well, my new replacement is the E.l.f. Camo CC Cream. This works the same for me as the foundation. Now, a lot of people are wondering, is it like the E.l.f. CC Cream or like the E.l.f. foundation. I feel it's closer to the foundation because of the amount of coverage I get. I didn't get as much coverage out of the E.l.f. CC Cream as I do out of the foundation. And I feel even though they've called it a CC Cream, I get that level of coverage as I do from a foundation. So when I purchased this shade was way too deep for my skin tone, even though they labeled it light. This is 280 light neutral, and I thought it would be perfect, but it was very deep for me. So I took this LA Girl. Now, when I broke out last October with that rash, nothing was covering the redness. So I had purchased some Cover FX drops to deepen the pigment and try to cover the redness that was all over my face. Well, those drops are pretty pricey, and so my replacement for those is this LA Girl. What I find is mixing this can change the foundation, and it also seems to give more pigment, so I'm seeing less of the red in my face. These are amazing. They're so inexpensive. And what's happened now is I had a ton of different foundations that weren't the right shade for me, especially depending on what season of the year and how much sun I'm getting. So I can take this and customize the foundation I already own, which now makes me able to use all of those. So this has turned into a lifesaver and has really helped me as I'm using this and getting the right shade for my skin. If there's a product you really want to try, see if there's a mini. That's what I did recently. I had wanted the Hourglass bronzer, but I didn't want to spend that much money on a bronzer. So I bought the mini, and I'm so happy that I did because I use it for so many things. When I first tried that E.l.f. Camo CC Cream, I did it without the pigment mix the first day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my neck looks so pale next to my face. So what I did, I took a fluffy brush, went into this and just went down like this and blended, and what a difference. It matched beautifully. Now what I like about this, it's one of those products, again, multiple uses, so that makes me feel like it's worth the money also. I can contour my face, I've contoured my eyes with it, so I feel that buying a mini can be so worth it. Benefit was very innovative when they came out with one of the first brow gels. I remember when that product came out, I wanted to try it, but the price is what stopped me. Well, now E.l.f. has their Brow Wow or Wow Brow, and I've been using it since it came out for a very long time. Now, I love the one from Physicians Formula also, but I wanted to say this is the closest I have found to the Benefit because of the brush. The Benefit brush is stubbier like this, where the one from Physicians Formula is very long and skinny. Both products I think work great. They add volume to the brow. I really like how natural my brows look. Before I was getting very frustrated with my brows because they're thin and I was getting some gray hair in them. And when I would do a pencil, sometimes I'd be too heavy-handed and make these dark brows, and then other times not enough, and then a tail would wear off at the end of the day. So I have found that the best thing for me is this E.l.f. Wow Brow because it really does last and it's so inexpensive. I love color-changing lip products. So many companies have had them. It Cosmetics has one that so many people rave about, but the price is what held me back from purchasing it. Now, I have used one from E.l.f. in the past. I really like that. That was in a lipstick formula. Now, Flower Beauty's just come out with one, and it's Colorshift Lip Smoothie. Now, this looks like, it's got a little plastic applicator that's on a slant, and I just love the way it makes my lips look. Now, I applied it probably over an hour ago right now, and you still see a lot of shimmer and sheen to my lips. I feel that it smoothed out my lips, and I just love the color that it changed to. This adjusts to your own body chemistry, but this has quickly become a favorite of mine and saves me a lot of money. Like many women my age, I have some crepey skin, and I wanted to try Crepe Erase, but I can't afford Crepe Erase. And so I went and bought this after hearing about it on Dr. Dre's channel. It's from Eucerin, and it's their Intensive Repair Lotion. Now, I use this on my arms, my legs, and I think it's amazing. It has alpha hydroxy acid in it, so it exfoliates the skin very gently. I was a little concerned at first because my skin is super sensitive that I would break out in a rash from it, but I did not. What I do is I keep it in my shower. When I'm done done, I sort of pat my skin dry and put this on. It dries pretty quickly, and it really has helped with crepey skin. So if you're dealing with that also, this is something that you'll want to try. It's so economical. If you look, it's 16.9 ounces. If you look at how much crepe erase you get and you do the math, it is a giant price difference. I can't afford to keep repurchasing crepe erase every month, so I don't even want to try it for that reason, and because this works so great. Let's talk about mascara. Many of you are familiar, I'm sure, with the Thrive mascara because it's all over the internet, on Facebook, all kinds of advertisements. It is a beautiful product. I was gifted it for my birthday from my friend, and I was so excited to try it. But recently, one of my friends here on YouTube, Dawn, from Dawn's Life After 40, she did a comparison between Thrive and this one from number 7. So what amazed me is this looked just as great. I had used up the Thrive and just didn't repurchase because it was out of my budget. And so when I went to Target, I picked this up and I was amazed at the results. It worked great for me. Now this is a tubing mascara, just like the Thrive is. And I can't afford to repurchase Thrive 4 or 5 times a year. It's going to add up a lot because I do replace my mascara every 3 months. So this gave me great results. I love the brush. It really grabbed onto my lashes. And the tubing works great for me because I found I didn't get any smudging in the under eye area. So this is definitely a mascara I would repurchase. Now another one that I have tried in the past is from Too Faced. We're all familiar with this mascara. It's everywhere you look. Well, my replacement that I feel works a lot better is the Warrior Princess from Flower Beauty. It's the same kind of hourglass brush, which tends to work really well on my lashes for some reason. It grabs them well. I like the intensity of the color of it. It lasts all day. It doesn't flake on me. So I remember, this was sort of a funny story. I had put on the Too Faced mascara and I'd gone to the chiropractor. And when I got up off the bed, off the table, I had mascara just all under my eyes. So this actually works so much better and at a more affordable price. There are so many great options out there for us now that are affordable. I would love to hear things that you use that are affordable, that have maybe become replacements for high-end or just something you love that's affordable. Make sure that you are subscribed to my channel so you don't miss any of my videos. And let's talk about the giveaway. The giveaway winner from last week is in the first pinned comment. This week, I have these beautiful brushes from Sigma that I'm giving away. If you will just give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment and make sure you're subscribed, then you're in the giveaway. Also, I'd like to invite you over to my Instagram. I post there daily videos, little mini reviews about products that I'm trying out. Sometimes I talk about them there before I show them in my YouTube videos. So I would love to see you over on Instagram. I hope you have the most amazing week.